the wild, conflict doesn't always begin with hunting. It arises when multiple species congregate in a confined space, near a water source, or in a crucial location for survival. In those moments, strength, numbers, and the environment immediately determine who can stand. The following sections reflect how nature determines victory and defeat, without exception or favoritism. Lions are large, social cats with immense muscle strength, quick reflexes, and effective coordination. A mature lioness can weigh over 300 pounds and often plays a leading role in hunts. However, these advantages are only fully realized when there is enough space to move and retreat. While the buffalo herd moves closely together, a lioness finds herself in a disadvantageous position, trapped in the middle of the formation. Without chaos, the buffalo maintain their structure and react simultaneously. Pressure from multiple directions quickly renders the lioness unable to find an escape route. The safe distance disappears. The lioness's movements slow noticeably, while the buffalo maintain a steady pace and control of the surrounding space. When the situation calms down, the buffalo herd continues to advance in its familiar formation. The lions were no longer able to approach and were forced to leave the area. On the savanna, the buffalo's solidarity was enough to keep even the most powerful predators at bay. Crocodiles are reptiles with very strong jaws, long, heavy bodies, and thick skin that helps them withstand environmental impacts. An adult can weigh over 1,000 pounds and function effectively in the water. However, once out of the water, their mobility and directional control decrease significantly. Near the riverbank, a crocodile crawls ashore to access its food source on land. Its slow movements make its entire body easily visible. The lions then appear, taking advantage of their numbers and agility on land to exert pressure from multiple directions. In this environment, the crocodile faces many limitations. Reactions become slower, each turn takes time, while the lions take turns approaching and maintaining close proximity. The inherent advantage of being in the water is no longer effective on land. Without a favorable position to maintain distance, the crocodile gradually loses control of the situation and is forced to retreat, abandoning its food source to return to the water. The encounter ends with a clear result. The lion retains its advantage, while the crocodile leaves in unfavorable conditions. In nature, the environment determines advantage, and when the crocodile leaves the water, that advantage is gone. Buck antelopes are medium-sized animals with quick reflexes, often relying on dense vegetation or shallow water to avoid danger. They aren't strong in direct confrontations, but survive by choosing an escape route in time. In an emergency, deciding where to take shelter is crucial. Pursued by a pack of wild dogs, the antelope lunged into a mud puddle where a hippo was standing still. Initially, the hippo didn't react, keeping its distance and tolerating the unexpected presence. But when the antelope panicked, thrashed violently, and invaded its personal space, the situation immediately changed. The hippo reacted almost instantly. In a brief moment, the confrontation ended, and the antelope was no longer able to escape. Soon after, the pack of wild dogs approached and dragged the body away from the area. The situation ended quickly. The antelope couldn't get through the predicament, while the hippo held its position. In nature, choosing the wrong shelter can lead to a worse outcome than the initial threat. Giraffes are the tallest land animals, with large bodies, long necks, and leg bones that bear their entire weight. A mature individual can be over 18 feet tall and weigh over 2,000 pounds. Despite their excellent eyesight and considerable strength, giraffes' stability depends almost entirely on their legs. When lions approach, they don't target the upper body or neck. Instead, they coordinate attacks on the hind legs, the area that bears the most weight. They cling on, maintaining constant traction and disrupting the giraffe's ability to maintain balance. When one leg loses its balance, the entire giraffe's body loses its stability. It falls to the ground in a short time, and the attack ends quickly. The confrontation ended with a clear result. The lion gained the upper hand thanks to its precise tactics, while the giraffe could no longer defend itself. This is a prime example of attacking structural weaknesses rather than engaging in a direct confrontation. The African buffalo is a powerful animal with a sturdy build, thick muscles, and strong, curved horns. A mature individual can weigh over 1,500 pounds and moves in tightly organized herds. The buffalo's strength lies not in speed, but in its tenacity and ability to withstand pressure. At a watering hole, the elephant continuously drives away other animals to gain space. Approaching the buffalo herd, the elephant continues to demonstrate its overwhelming size. However, the buffalo do not retreat but maintain their position, continuing to drink and maintain their formation. The two sides confront each other in a tense standoff. The elephant advances, the buffalo hold their line. No fatal blows occur, but the pressure is evident in every movement. The encounter ended without either side being defeated. The buffalo were not repelled, and the elephant gradually reduced its intensity of approach. In the wild, their tenacity and herd mentality make buffalo one of the least bullied species in Africa. Hippopotamuses are semi-aquatic animals with very large bodies, thick skin, and strong jaws. A mature male can weigh over 3,000 pounds and control the shallow water areas where breeding takes place. A hippopotamus's status is directly tied to its territorial rights. When two male hippos meet, tension quickly escalates. They open their mouths, emit threatening sounds, and move closer to each other. Neither side backs down. The confrontation escalates to direct contact in a confined space. The movements are rapid and brief. The hippo's tusks are strong enough to pierce through thick layers of fat, forcing the opponent under immense pressure and losing its ability to hold its position. Ultimately, the weaker one retreats from the area. The remaining hippo retains control of the water and the breeding opportunity. In the world of hippos, strength determines status, and hesitation brings no advantage. Hyenas are large, pack-hunting predators with high stamina and excellent coordination. An adult can weigh over 130 pounds and often relies on numbers to gain an advantage. When facing a lone opponent, hyenas can exert constant pressure and control the space. Initially, a lone lion is surrounded by a pack of hyenas. They approach step by step, applying pressure from multiple directions and maintaining sufficient distance to gauge the lion's reaction. The balance now tips in favor of the hyenas. The situation changes when the lions appear from a distance. The presence of multiple individuals slows the hyena's movements. The pressure shifts, and the numerical advantage is no longer maintained. The encounter ends quickly. The lions maintain control of the area, while the hyenas retreat to avoid direct confrontation. In the wild, lions exert their strength when in a pride, while hyenas only maintain their advantage when they have a numerical superiority. These encounters demonstrate that no species always holds absolute dominance. The outcome of each confrontation is determined by circumstances, location, and how each species reacts in the crucial moment. Sometimes strength prevails, sometimes hesitation reverses the situation. In the wild, order is maintained by stable, unbiased, and unchanging rules. In the wild, Few species can match the composure and power of the elephant. They don't attack randomly, but they also don't hesitate to display their strength when necessary. Every step is a silent reminder of insurmountable limits. Elephants act at the right time, drawing on intelligence accumulated over millions of years of evolution and a clear defensive instinct. Elephants are the largest land animals still existing on Earth. A mature individual can weigh over 13,000 pounds and stand up to 10 feet tall at the shoulder. Their long, curved tusks, broad, fan-like ears, and flexible trunk are not only tools for survival, but also symbols of intelligence evolved over millions of years. They live in matriarchal herds, where the leader is usually an older female who guides the group through arid lands, finding water and food based on memory and experience. Each individual has a role, from protecting young to signaling danger with infrasonic waves. Elephants don't just live by strength, they live by solidarity. In a world that changes with the seasons, these giant animals maintain their position not only because of their size, but because of survival strategies based on memory, observation, and adaptability. This species has learned a simple lesson. Survival is not about being alone, but about working together. African buffaloes, weighing up to 1,500 pounds, are renowned for their tenacity and large curved horns. They are strong, vigilant, and live in herds to defend themselves against enemies. But when faced with elephants, which can weigh far more than many buffaloes combined, the balance of weight completely tips in favor of the elephants. Conflicts often arise from disputes over watering holes or obstructions, not from direct hostility. A male elephant in its must phase, when hormones are high, can become sensitive and decisive, viewing the presence of the buffalo herd as an obstacle to be eliminated. Instead of rushing, the elephant moves slowly and steadily. Each step is a test of willpower. The buffalo holds its position, but does not provoke. Suddenly, the elephant charges forward, using its weight and tusks to create pressure. A single toss from its massive body is enough to throw the buffalo off balance. Under pressure, the buffalo herd disperses, not out of panic, but out of calculated risk. The individual separated is usually the one closest to the elephant, forced to retreat. However, the elephant does not pursue relentlessly. The goal is not to inflict harm, but to assert dominance. In the wild, true strength lies not in overwhelming power, but in the ability to control action at the right time. Lions, symbols of power on the savanna, are pack predators, with each adult male weighing up to 420 pounds and possessing superior strength and tactics. But even they cannot underestimate the presence of adult elephants. When lions approach a herd of elephants resting or approaching a food source, especially during the dry season, a confrontation can occur. Behaviors such as approaching carcasses, encroaching on resting areas, or threatening young elephants can trigger a reaction from the elephants. The lead elephant advances without panic or haste. Its deep roars, wide ear flaps, and slow but steady gait are clear warnings. Elephants don't aim for confrontation, but they don't ignore the danger either. When necessary, they will charge, forcing the lion to retreat. Not for revenge, but to establish boundaries. No pursuit, no conflict. The presence and defensive behavior of elephants is an effective way to maintain order. A protection strategy that has been formed and passed down through generations. When two adult males appear together in a vast open field, the tension doesn't stem from animosity but from a need for dominance. They growl softly, flap their ears, and advance. If neither backs down, tusks touch, their massive bodies pouring force into each push. It's not about elimination, but about measuring strength. The one who remains calm and holds their ground is the victor. Rhinos, especially the black rhino, are renowned for their solitary nature and unpredictable temperament. An adult can weigh up to 3,000 pounds and possess a sharp horn up to 5 feet long. Despite their poor eyesight, they have extremely sensitive hearing and are not easily surprised. When conflict arises, elephants advance proactively. The spatial pressure at the watering hole forces these two giants to confront each other. The rhino lowers its head and raises its horns to maintain distance, but the elephant's superior height and overwhelming weight give it the upper hand. With steady strides, the elephant can use its tusks to push the rhino aside or force its head into the shallow water. Sometimes, a thrown branch marks the end of the confrontation. Without resorting to a full-blown fight, the elephant acts enough to make the rhino understand. Retreat. It's not about fighting, but about establishing a boundary. In the wild, victory doesn't always require confrontation. Sometimes, simply being present at the right time is enough to establish your position. Nile crocodiles are masters of underwater ambushes, reaching up to 16 feet in length and possessing a bite force of approximately 3,700 psi, among the strongest in the natural world. They often hide beneath calm waters, especially in slippery mudflats where elephants frequently lead their herds to drink and are easily caught off guard. The moment a crocodile slithers close to the shore, targeting a young elephant wading through shallow water, the mother elephant's reaction is instantaneous. Her large head jerks violently, her legs thrash about, creating waves and disrupting her underwater hiding place. Vigilance is maintained even when the lake's surface is unusually calm. No direct confrontation is needed, just a clear signal. The crocodile falters and dives deep, retreating. Even elephants are not entirely safe in the water. But this reaction is not random. It is a vigilance developed over generations of survival. Hippos are among the most dangerous animals in Africa. Despite their round bodies and slow gait on land, adult individuals can weigh up to 3,500 pounds and possess sharp teeth and a formidable bite. They live in small groups in rivers, frequently visiting shallow water holes where elephants often lead their herds to drink. When both species appear together, the atmosphere becomes tense. A hippo emerges near the elephant herd, appearing aggressive. The adult elephant immediately advances, head lowered, flapping its ears vigorously without waiting for a reaction. The sudden charge sends water splashing. The hippo retreats, offering no resistance. Under the clear pressure of size and willpower, the wisest choice is to avoid confrontation. Hyenas are highly organized pack animals, with each adult weighing around 140 pounds. They are highly resilient and adaptable, often approaching carcass areas to find opportunities. However, that instinct sometimes leads them to approach larger animals in an unwise way. Image caption: Hyenas group feasting a buffalo attack by elephant herd video. When a herd of elephants appears near a food source, hyenas, each weighing around 80 to 90 kilograms, usually approach cautiously, focusing on observing the young. But for elephants, any such approach is a warning that needs to be responded to. An adult will advance, forming a protective circle. A low growl is emitted, accompanied by steady strides. If the hyenas do not retreat, the elephant will make a gentle, non-injurious but firm enough push to show its limits. There was no pursuit. The hyena retreated in silence. This reaction was not accidental, but a defensive strategy developed over generations to maintain order through calmness and clarity. Elephants aren't always the ones seeking conflict, but when their boundaries are crossed, they react with the calmness of someone who understands their own strength. Each action is not just defense, but also a lesson in control and limits. In the wild, Elephants don't need to win, they just need to be respected.